Dear scholars, we have been learning a poem, The Brook, in which we have gone through the first half. What is it about? That is the origin of the brook and how it visits to different places and what type of sound it creates or its water creates while flowing. That all we discuss through the previous video only. In the previous video only. Let us see second half of the poem. Here we go with the stanza. I went about and in and out with here a blossom sailing, and here and there a lusty trout, and here and there a grayling, and here and there a foamy flake upon me as I travel, with many a silvery water break above the golden gravel, and draw them all along and flow to join the brimming river. For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. Let us see its meaning in detail. I wind about and in and out. It is what? The brook, while flowing, it wind about. That is, while flowing only, it takes turns, right? And what is further? The wind is, or that turn is in and out. So it is something like this, isn't it? So the brook, while flowing, goes zigzag, that is in and out, winding, with here a blossom sailing. And because of that water, in many of the places there is blossom, many of the flowers bloom, because many of the trees live, trees remain alive because of that water. And here and there a lusty trout. Here the word lusty means healthy, and the word trout means fish. Lusty trout, healthy fish. Because of this water, at many places fish are found and they all become healthy because of that water only. And here and there a grayling. The word grayling means a freshwater fish with a long fin. So because of water only, greenery is available, insects are in many number, and in the same way, whatever fishes grow in that water, they become healthy, lusty. What is further? And here and there a foamy flake upon me as I travel. So as water of brook flows, it produces foam, what we call face, right? It produces foam, and that foam is found on it or its water as it travels, with many a silvery water break above the golden gravel. The word gravel means small rounded stones. Gravel, small rounded stones. As I travel, with many a silvery water break above the golden gravel. So whenever water of brook flows over the gravel, that is small stones, it is specially golden. At that time, the water looks golden, and in some places it looks silvery, has turned silver. And draw them all along and flow to join the brimming river. So drawing the stones, drawing the foam, this brook flows ahead. That is, it draws all of them and flow for what? To join the brimming river. Wherever that river flowing with full of water, to join such a river, this brook also flows. And for men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. Again the poet repeats this line, that is, many people will come, many people will visit, many people will enjoy, and many people will take benefit out of the water of the brook, but they will go just. But here the brook will be there forever. Next and last stanza. I sleep, I slide, I gloom, I glance. Among my scheming swallows, I make the netted sunbeam dance against my sandy shallows. I murmur under moon and star, in brambly wildernesses. I linger by my shingly bars, I loiter round my cresses. And out again I curve and flow to join the brimming river. For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. Here, in the last stanza, what the brook says, that is, I sleep, I slide, I gloom, I glance. The water from the brook, it sleeps at many places. Wherever there is a slope, at such a places, it sleeps, also it slides. In some places, it goes through gloom, darkness, and in some places, it glances, that is, it shines. Water of broom shines in some places. Among my scheming swallows, it is one of the birds, and scheming swallows, that is, swallows that touch the brook lightly and quickly as they fly over it. So comes, touch water of the brook and just fly away. Such as swallows are found around the brook. I make the netted sunbeam dance against my sandy shallows. Here the word shallows means places with short distance from top to bottom. So it is what? Because of flowing water of brook only, whatever sunbeams falling on the water, they look like they are dancing. So the line is here, I make the netted sunbeam dance against my sandy shallows. So wherever shallow places come across, at such a places sunbeam is found to be dancing. I murmur under moon and stars in brambly wildernesses. Here the brambly, that is bramble, some of the wild bushes. And what is wildernesses? That is uncultivated land. So in a uncultivated land, wherever wild bushes are found, at such a places, what is it? I murmur under moon and stars in brambly wildernesses. So at the uncultivated lands, wherever the brook is flowing under the moon and stars, that is in the night, the sound of flowing water of the brook is heard, and that sound is murmur. I linger by my shingly bars. Here the word linger means to take a long time to live, and shingly bars, that is small round stones. So it is what? Wherever small round stones are found, at such a places the brook lingers. That is, it takes little more time to flow its water from there. I loiter round my cresses. The word loiter means move slowly, and cresses, plants with green leaves. In places where many plants with green leaves come across, at such a places the brook flows slowly. The brook moves slowly. Last 4 lines. And out again I curve and flow to join the brimming river. And again to have the trees, the cresses or the stones on the way, at such a places the brook takes turns. That is, it curves, it takes turns and again flows. For what? To join the brimming river, to join that full river, full of water river. For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. And again the poet repeats that many people will take birth, they will visit, they will take benefits of this water, and they will go after taking benefits. Some of them will leave that place and some of them will leave this earth, but the brook which is flowing through it, which has given benefits to all, will remain forever at the same place. So this is the poem from the book The Brook, which is written by Alfred Lord Tennyson. I hope you all will understand the given explanation of the second half of this poem.